In this video, I'm going to talk to you all about procrastination, and I'm going to share with you 10 ways that I beat procrastination as an entrepreneur, and I hope they're going to help you out when you need to beat procrastination too. But before we get into the content, you will probably notice that my video set has changed a little bit. I'm trying out some new video sets, and I would love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below. Now, I also want to let you know about the Leadership Evaluation Toolkit. Now, this is a free download from my website. It's a 35-question self-assessment, so you can see where you stand as a leader. I will put the link in the description below. So let's get back to the topic of procrastination. Now, procrastination is something that I constantly have to fight as an entrepreneur. And if you're more of a knowledge worker, or if you sit down at your desk, at your computer all day, every day, you can probably relate to what I mean. So for me, a lot of my work requires content creation for these YouTube videos, for my podcast, and for LinkedIn as well, and various social media. And that requires me to come up with a lot of ideas and think of a lot of creative ideas to share with my audience. Now, sometimes I find this challenging. It is really tempting to open up LinkedIn or to open up Instagram and start scrolling through my feed, but this doesn't help me get the work done. Now, I have had to come up with a number of strategies that I can tap into at any moment to pull me out of procrastination, and I'm going to share those strategies with you right now in this video. So the first strategy I use is to think of the end result. So let's say that I was creating a YouTube video or a podcast episode and I was procrastinating about it. Now, what I usually do is I try to visualize the end result. I try to visualize that YouTube video being finished, being edited, being uploaded to YouTube, and people like you watching it. Or I try to imagine the podcast episode being finished and published and people listening to it. So I try to imagine the positive results that I'm going to get at the end of completing whatever task it is I'm working on. So for you, when you are procrastinating about something, try to think of the end result that you are going to get once you have finished that particular task or whatever it is you're working on. Try to think of the joy that you're going to get. Try to think of the positive results, the satisfaction of completing and finishing that particular task. Try to focus on that end result and use that as a motivator to push you through your procrastination and get working. The second tip that I want to share with you is to limit distractions. So one of my biggest weaknesses is social media, and when I am procrastinating, I will always find myself heading to my phone, opening up LinkedIn or Instagram or another app and start scrolling through my feed. This is a form of distraction, and what I'm really trying to get is some kind of inspiration or some kind of positive joy to pull me out of my procrastination mode. But that rarely happens, and really all that social media is a distraction. My phone is essentially a distraction for me and a distraction to me getting the work done. Now, because I've worked out that my phone is a distraction to me getting my work done, I've worked out that if I put my phone away in my bag or even in another room, I am less tempted to go and get it when I am procrastinating, because it is too much effort. It means I physically have to get up out of my desk, walk to where my phone is and get it. And that's just too much effort for me in that moment. It's actually easier to do the work that I need to do. So putting a barrier between me and my distraction, which in my case is my phone, helps me move through my procrastination and get the work done. Now, maybe your distraction is social media as well, like me. Maybe it is your phone. So perhaps you can use this tip that I'm sharing with you right now in this video. But essentially what I recommend you to do is to put a barrier in between you and whatever your distraction is to you getting your work done. And that should help you pull yourself out of procrastination and get the work done. Number 3 is to break larger tasks into smaller steps. So sometimes when I'm working on a larger project, like creating a new video course, if I tackle the whole project at once or try to tackle it all at once, I find it too overwhelming, and that leads me to procrastinate because I don't really know where to start, and I'm thinking I have all these things that I have to do. Where do I start? What do I work on right now? And in the end, I end up working on nothing. So I found that by breaking larger projects into smaller steps or smaller tasks can really help me identify what I need to do, make it seem achievable for me to complete those tasks, and it does get me moving through the project and moving through the procrastination as well. So if your work requires you to spend time creating large projects, then try this method as well. Try breaking that large project into a number of smaller steps and tackle each step one at a time and celebrate the end of each step once you have completed it. So try this next time you feel you are procrastinating, and if that is why you're procrastinating, then this method should help you. My fourth tip is to focus on the small accomplishments. So this is really important for big projects as well. Whenever you are working on a big project and you finish one of the smaller steps that you have allocated for yourself, try and celebrate the completion of that step. Go out and get a coffee, go out and get an ice cream, or just go outside for a walk to refresh your mind. But celebrating the small wins you get along the way can really help motivate you and get you moving through the project, achieving those goals, and get you moving through procrastination as well. Number 5 is set a time limit. Now, this can really help you set boundaries with yourself so that you focus on the task you need to focus on. For example, if I were to sit down in front of my computer and I tell myself that I need to write this blog post in the next 30 minutes, or I need to script up this YouTube video in the next 30 minutes, I usually do it. I can usually achieve that. But if I have in my calendar that sometime this week I need to script up a YouTube video, or sometime this week I need to write a podcast episode, I procrastinate about it. I don't force myself to finish and complete that particular task. So setting a time limit in this instance can really help you move through the procrastination and get that task done. But I want to warn you, you need to be careful with setting time limits. And this is a mistake I made early on. Your time limits need to be realistic. You need to be able to achieve them so that you can gain that sense of accomplishment when you complete the project on time. If you set an unrealistic time limit, for example, if you need to write a blog post and you allocate 10 minutes to writing that blog post, you need to finish it within 10 minutes. But normally it takes you 30 minutes or 45 minutes to write a blog post. You are going to be disappointed. And this is going to demotivate you in completing that project. Then you'll be more unlikely to finish that task. So you really need to know your limits, know how much time it is realistically going to take you to finish that particular task. Then you can allocate that time and set a time limit for yourself. Number 6, work at your most productive time. A big part of being productive as a professional or an entrepreneur is knowing when you are at your most productive. Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it later in the evening? And this is really personal. It very much depends on you. So for me, I work best in the mornings. I am definitely a morning person. And when I get up, the first thing I do is exercise. I do some stretching, I do some cardio, and then I do some visualization as well to get my mind focused on what I need to achieve that day. Then I make my breakfast, have my shower, and after all of that is done, then I can get to work. And I find after I have done all of this, I have the best level of concentration and the best level of focus for my work. So generally, I set more challenging tasks or things I need to work on that are more difficult or complicated. I do those first thing in the morning because I know that I'm going to have the best brain power. I'm going to be fresh in my mind to tackle those projects. And especially if I'm doing some creative work, I generally allocate those tasks first thing in the morning so I can be the most productive at them. For you, start to become more aware of when you are at your most productive. Do you find that in the mornings you get better work done? Is it mid-morning? Is it after lunch? Is it in the evening? Or is it while you're watching TV? When do you do your best work? Try to identify that and allocate difficult tasks and difficult projects in those times. Number 7 is to play motivating music. So whenever I am doing creative work, I always listen to music. I have a playlist on my computer of songs that really get me motivated, that really get my mind going, and I play those as I am doing the creative work. I always put on my headphones and just block out any other noise that is around me so I can focus purely on my work. There are 2 keys here that you need to remember. The first is you need to have music that you love, and the second is you need to have a really great pair of headphones. So for music that you love, try to think of songs that motivate you, that lift you up, that really energize you, and put those on a playlist on your computer computer, your iPod, however you listen to music, and have it easily accessible so when you are procrastinating, you can just turn it on, put on your headphones and start listening to that music. Music really has a way of lifting you out of those lulls. I remember one day I was driving home and I was getting a bit tired while I was driving, so I switched on the music to a different song and immediately I woke up. Immediately I felt refreshed and energized for the rest of the drive home. So for you, it's probably the same. You no doubt have a number of songs that are your favorite songs that you love to listen to that just make you feel really good inside. So pick those out, put them on a playlist and listen to them when you are procrastinating. The second thing you need is a great pair of headphones. So I use just some earbuds that are made from Sony and they are fantastic headphones with fantastic bass as well. For you, you probably have your own set of headphones that you like. If you don't, then hunt around for a set of headphones that play music really well, and this will definitely make you want to listen to the music, and through that it will help lift you out of the procrastination mode. Number 8 is take a walk. So sometimes you might be procrastinating because you've just been sitting down in the one position for too long. You might need to just get up, walk around, stretch your legs, get the blood moving around your body to refresh your brain as well. Now, what I usually do if I have been sitting down in the one place in my office for way too long and I just don't want to work, I usually go outside for a walk. I take a 10-minute walk outside, go into the sunshine, soak up the sunshine, breathe in the fresh air, and after 10 minutes, that always makes me feel a lot more energized and motivated to get back to work. So think about how you can incorporate walking or some kind of movement into your daily routine. Can you go for a walk outside? Can you do some stretching or some exercises inside your office or inside your home if you work from home? Think about how you can incorporate movement into your day to get that oxygen flowing and to get that blood moving around your body. The thing I found is I often come up with the best ideas while I am walking, and I don't take my phone when I go walking, but I do take a notepad and a pen. So if I have a great idea that I know I'll forget when I get back to the office, I always have something to write it down on. So if you go for a walk and you get great ideas when you go walking, then make sure you take something to write it on as well. Number 9 is talk to someone. A simple conversation can really help you switch your focus from the job that you are working on, that you're procrastinating about, and switch your focus to your friend or to the person that you were talking with. Quite often, a switch of focus can really do wonders for procrastination. So pick up the phone, talk to a friend or a family member, ask them how they're going, ask them questions about their life, and switch your mind focus from you and your job to the other person. And this will really help to wake you up and help to pull you out of your procrastination. And number 10, forgive yourself. This is a really important one. There is actually nothing wrong with procrastination. Everybody does it from one time or another. The worst thing you can do is to tell yourself, oh, I should have started this 10 minutes ago, or I should have already finished this task by now. That's in the past. What's done is done. You need to focus on the future and what you can do from this moment on. And negative self-talk often leads to more procrastination because it damages your self-confidence about completing that task. You start to tell yourself that you cannot do it. So forgiving yourself is really important when you are procrastinating to help you keep moving forward. Well, I hope you enjoyed these 10 ways that I pull myself out of procrastination as an entrepreneur. I hope they will work for you as well. For more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell as well. And let me know in the comments below if you did like this video, which procrastination tip will you implement first. Don't forget to check out the other videos that are on the screen right now, and I will see you next week in another video.